Imagine being a meteorologist whose weather prediction could change the course of history. That was the case for Group Captain James Stagg, a British Royal Air Force meteorologist. This is not your ordinary tale of weather forecasting. This is a story of how a single weather report played a pivotal role in the course of World War II. In the early days of June 1944, the Allied forces were preparing for a monumental military operation, the invasion of Normandy, which we now know as D-Day. This carefully planned operation hinged on one crucial detail: the weather. The skies needed to be clear for the invasion to proceed. Enter James Stagg, a man whose weather prediction carried a weight like no other. As the chief meteorological advisor to General Dwight D. Eisenhower, Stagg was responsible for providing an accurate weather forecast for D-Day. The immense pressure was not for the faint-hearted. A wrong prediction could lead to catastrophic losses and a potential shift in the tide of the war. As the initial invasion date of June 5th drew nearer, Stagg faced a conundrum. The weather was stormy, and forecasts from different meteorologists were conflicting. However, Stagg predicted a brief window of clear weather on June 6th. It was a gamble, a high-stakes roll of the dice. If he was wrong, the consequences would be dire. But Stagg held his ground. He convinced Eisenhower to postpone the invasion by a day, betting on his prediction of a break in the stormy weather. It was a decision that could have cost him his career, and perhaps even more, if he was wrong. On June 6th, as dawn broke, the skies cleared, just as Stagg had predicted. The largest seaborne invasion in history kicked off, marking the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. So, a weather forecast played a crucial role in one of the most significant military operations in history. It's a reminder of the unpredictable role weather can play in the theater of war, and a testament to the courage of those who must make decisions in the face of uncertainty. Behind enemy lines, in the dark of the night, a young American paratrooper, Private John Steele, found himself in a precarious situation. In the early hours of June 6, 1944, as part of the daring airborne assault preceding the beach landings, Steele was dropped into the silent town of Sainte-Mère-Église. His mission, along with others of the 82nd Airborne Division, was to disrupt German defenses and secure the town. But fate had a different plan for Private Steele. Caught in an errant gust of wind, his parachute veered off course. Instead of landing on solid ground, Steele found himself tangled in the medieval spire of the town's church. Suspended high above the ground, he was a sitting duck, exposed to enemy fire. Yet, in a twist of irony, this perilous perch offered him a unique vantage point of the unfolding invasion. From his high-altitude vantage point, Steele witnessed the confusion and chaos below as paratroopers descended into the town, engaging in fierce combat with the German forces. His comrades fought valiantly, their actions echoing through the silent night, breaking the quiet tranquility of the small French town. Steele clung to the church spire for hours, feigning death to avoid attracting German fire. Eventually, a German soldier cut him down, and he was taken prisoner. But Steele's story doesn't end there. In a daring escape, he managed to slip away from his captors and rejoin his division, contributing to the eventual liberation of Sainte-Mère-Église. The tale of Private John Steele is but one of countless acts of bravery that occurred during the Normandy invasion. It's a testament to the courage, resourcefulness, and resilience of the men who fought on D-Day. From a precarious perch on a church spire, Steele bore witness to the unfolding of one of the most significant military operations in history. Steele's story reminds us of the individual acts of bravery that collectively contributed to the success of D-Day. The beaches of Normandy, serene in their beauty, bore witness to a horrific yet heroic spectacle on June 6, 1944. On this fateful day, the Allied forces, primarily composed of American, British, and Canadian troops, launched a massive amphibious assault on 5 beaches, each codenamed Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. The American forces set foot on Utah and Omaha, while British and Canadian troops landed on Gold, Juno, and Sword. This was no ordinary day at the beach. It was a day of courage and valor. The sand, once golden and pristine, was transformed into a battleground, stained with the grit and determination of thousands of soldiers. The sea, once calm and tranquil, roared with the onslaught of landing crafts and the thunder of artillery fire. Omaha Beach stands out in this grand operation due to the intense struggle that unfolded there. American soldiers faced a daunting task as they disembarked from their landing crafts, straight into a hailstorm of bullets from entrenched German defenses. The water turned red, and the air was thick with the smell of gunpowder and fear. Yet amid this chaos, heroism shone through. Take Private Howard, for instance, a young soldier from Kansas. Despite the relentless gunfire, he pushed forward, dragging wounded comrades to safety and rallying his fellow soldiers to advance. His story is but one of countless acts of bravery that day. The battle was brutal, the cost high, but the resolve of these soldiers was unshakable. They were not just fighting for their lives but for the freedom of all of Europe. Their courage under fire, their refusal to give in, turned the tide against the entrenched German forces. Against all odds, the soldiers pressed on, turning the tide of the war in the Allies' favor. The beaches of Normandy, once a picturesque paradise, became a symbol of resilience and valor, a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who fought there. The echoes of D-Day still resonate today, a testament to the bravery and sacrifice of those who fought for freedom. This pivotal moment in World War II marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. But this victory was not achieved without immense human cost. The Normandy invasion, a colossal endeavor undertaken by the Allied forces, primarily consisting of American, British, and Canadian troops, was a calculated risk. It was an operation of unprecedented scale and complexity, with the goal of establishing a beachhead in Normandy to pave the way for the liberation of Western Europe from Nazi occupation. Despite the meticulous planning and the overwhelming number of Allied forces, the landings faced formidable resistance from the entrenched German defenses. The battle on Omaha Beach was particularly brutal, with American forces facing formidable German defenses. The courage and valor displayed by these soldiers, who pressed on in the face of such adversity, are a testament to their commitment to the cause of freedom. As the day progressed, the Allies managed to secure key beachheads and push inland. But the victory came at a steep price. Thousands of lives were lost on D-Day, a somber reminder of the cost of war. Each soldier who fell on the beaches of Normandy did not just represent a single life lost, but a family, a community forever marked by their sacrifice. The success of D-Day laid the foundation for the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany. The beachhead established in Normandy was a springboard for further Allied advances into occupied Europe, ultimately leading to the collapse of Hitler's regime. The echoes of D-Day are not just heard in the annals of military history, but are felt in the lives of those who owe their freedom to the bravery and sacrifice of the soldiers who fought on those beaches. D-Day was not just a battle, it was a statement to the world that freedom and democracy would always triumph over tyranny. D-Day was a turning point, a moment when the course of history was irrevocably changed. The ripple effects of this monumental operation extended far beyond the shores of Normandy. It was a pivot upon which the fate of World War II swiveled, a beacon of hope that signaled the beginning of the end for the Nazi regime. D-Day was a testament to international cooperation and military strategy. The invasion brought together the might of the American, British, and Canadian forces, a united front against a common enemy. Under the leadership of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, they orchestrated one of the most significant military operations in history. The Allies' success in Normandy marked a shift in momentum, a turning of the tide that would ultimately lead to the liberation of Western Europe from the clutches of Nazi occupation. But the impact of D-Day was not just confined to the battlegrounds of World War II. It had a lasting legacy, shaping the world as we know it today. The victory at Normandy set a precedent for future military operations and became a symbol of the Allied commitment to defeating tyranny and restoring freedom. The courage and sacrifice of the soldiers who fought on D-Day are etched in our collective memory. Their valor serves as a reminder of the price of freedom and the lengths to which humanity will go to protect it. From the paratroopers who landed behind enemy lines to the soldiers who stormed the beaches, their stories continue to inspire generations. The Normandy invasion was a turning point, not just in the context of World War II, but in the broader scope of human history. It demonstrated the power of unity, the strength of strategy, and the indomitable spirit of humanity. D-Day, a day of immense courage and sacrifice, forever altered the course of World War II, marking the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany and shaping the world as we know it today.